Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to Go to Your Own Research. This is the third reading of Justin Baldoni's Deposition transcript, which I downloaded from the Blake Lively versus Wayfarer Party's docket a few days ago before it was sealed. And as I said yesterday, I believe there were some redactions that were highlighted that hadn't been made, and I've not read any of those or shown any of those parts on my live stream. So far so good, and I'm getting really good feedback. So I know for the people that are here, they actually appreciate me doing this. So we're going to crack on. Now, on the last episode, we had, one sec. Good evening. Sorry. You're kicking yourself for not reading it before it got sealed. Well, you know, yeah, I mean, it was up for like a good day, I would say, before they spotted it. So, well, we know Justin Baldoni doesn't read anything anyway, so it definitely wasn't him that made a fuss. But yeah, on the last video, on the last live stream, I did a deep dive into how Justin Baldoni was shown a message showing that Melissa Nathan had covered up the death of a young girl, woman. She was barely a woman. How that didn't bother him. He was warned not to get in league with Melissa Nathan. He didn't pay any attention. And even now that he knows about it, he still says he has no regrets. So we had got up to, they were basically reading out that a woman called Brianna Koslow, I actually got a picture of her. Let me share my screen. One sec. So the thing is about Brianna Koslow is, I know I've used Google, sorry, I let the side down. If you look up her name, not on Google, I actually used another search engine. First of all, you'll see most of it's been deleted about her. But yeah, there was something about her working with Johnny Depp, and I'm like, yeah, obviously they've not been able to remove that. But it just made me think, you know, even if you don't know anything about the Johnny Depp trial, which I really hadn't paid much attention to it until this whole case came to my notice, just going by how these women operate, I just don't see how anyone can at this point believe that Johnny Depp is an innocent man that was framed. I really do not, because this is how they go about not even just looking after, but literally promoting these men who have done disgusting things. Anyway, so that's her. We had just found out on the last episode that she has admitted in her testimony under oath that she deliberately leaked information to the Daily Mail in August of 2024 that resulted in a negative story about Blake Lively. And that's what I left the last live stream on. Justin said he was not aware of it and that no one had told him since she testified. So I'm really getting the impression this guy lives in a bubble. That's what he wants us to think. You can all make your own minds up as to whether he's being honest or not. So I'm going to carry on with the questioning by Ms. Shah for Blake Lively's side. She asked, if that had happened in August of 2024, is that someone you would have? Is that something that as Tag's client, you would have expected they run by you before they did? Because remember, he is saying he did not do any retaliation. He merely retained their services to put out positive stories about him. That's his story. So that is objected to by Alexandra Shapiro. And he says, Tag had very clear directions to not create anything negative. Ms. Shah says, and if they did create something negative that resulted in a negative story about Blake Lively, is that something they would have expected, you would have expected them to tell you about? Very good question. Objection. I would have expected them to probably tell Jamie. I was not in communication every day about everything. Okay. What's your understanding? You testified earlier about a truce that you believed was in place between your camp and Blake Lively's camp with respect to media, right? Yes. And your understanding is that that truce had been brokered between Melissa Nathan and Leslie Sloan, right? Leslie Sloan is Blake Lively's PR, for anyone that doesn't know. That's what was relayed to me. Do you have any understanding of whether or not and how that truce may have been broken? Objection. I don't know. Okay. Do you think someone from Tag deliberately leaking negative information about Blake Lively in order to plant a story about her in the Daily Mail broke that truce? Objection. I don't know. Well, the truce was not to, you have to go back to the top of the page, put out any negative stories about each other, right? Yes. And so if someone from Tag did in fact put out a negative story about Blake Lively, you would agree with me that that broke the truce, right? I'm sorry. Let me go back. My understanding of the truce wasn't negative stories. My understanding of the truce was not to be in touch with any reporters about any of that, anything. So I don't think it was just negative stories. It was commenting on the current speculation. Okay. So if the truce was not to be in contact with any reporters about anything related to the speculation about what people were talking about, sure. If the truce was not to be in contact with any reporters relating to anything about the speculation about what was going on between you and Blake Lively on the film, you would agree with me that somebody from Tag planting a negative story against Blake Lively broke that truce. If that's what happened, then I would imagine, here he goes with the imagining again, that would be accurate. I don't know if that's what happened. I wasn't there. Well, you were there. You just didn't know, right? Objection. Well, this is the first I'm hearing about any of this, so I don't know. Okay. Are you pleased this is the first time you're hearing about any of what I'm telling you now? Objection. You ask me a lot if I'm pleased or happy. I don't think that's a fair characterization of anything that I'm feeling right now. Are you unhappy that you never heard before any of the things I'm telling you now? Objection. If they turned out to be true, then yeah, that would be an accurate feeling of what I would feel. But I haven't been able to do any of my own investigation. Why not? This is unbelievable. You have been in a litigation situation for over a year. Well, no, sorry. It would have been 9 months. And you never once wanted to investigate? I find it hard to believe. You're just telling me, and I'm hearing and responding to you. It's like if he was genuinely a passive person, then I might say, okay, I I'm by I could believe it, but he's such an aggressive person. We've seen how aggressive he can act, so I don't buy it. Just to answer a quick comment. Didn't Nathan work for Matthew Hiltzig when he was representing Epstein? I'm not sure if Hiltzig was representing Epstein. He definitely was in emails. There's actually a website I found that you can look at all the emails, the Epstein emails, and search his name. And he's definitely mentioned in a few of them. So they were kind of running things by him as to the reshaping of his public image, obviously. But yeah, I'm not sure if he was officially representing him. But the fact that he was in his radar, I mean, it's just like it amazes me because again, if you ever go and look at Reddit posts by pro Baldoni people, whoever they are, they have this fixation that Blake Lively and Leslie Jones are like, sorry, Leslie Sloan are best friends with Harvey Weinstein. And it's like, they're completely ignoring the fact that Hiltzig worked for Harvey Weinstein for 5.5 years. They were still in regular contact, absolutely no doubt. Especially while Melissa worked there. In fact, all of them. But yeah, they don't even mention that. It's so weird. And having your name on Epstein's emails, it's like it couldn't be worse as a PR. And this guy works for Mr. Beast. That's the other thing that blows my mind is that there's a lot of people talking about Mr. Beast at the moment and Logan Paul, not in a good way, but they haven't put these connections together still, not that I have seen. They are saying BL and RR are in the Epstein files. That's what I mean. It's like if you really want to know who's in the Epstein files, go and look it up right now. Anyway, let's not get too caught up on them because we are reading the actual facts here in this deposition, things that actually took place. So Ms. Shah asks Justin, if it turns out that all of these things are true, do you wish in hindsight that you had followed Stephanie Jones's advice about Melissa Nathan? Objection. Objection 4. I don't even know how to answer that. Do I wish in hindsight? So if everything you're saying is true, how is it not true, Justin? How is it not true? This is the thing. It's like everything they've said, you could literally look it up right there and then, or you could have looked it up. It can be proved to be true. So why are you saying that? Do I wish in hindsight that I had followed Stephanie Jones's advice back last year before hiring Melissa Nathan? Uh-huh. Yeah, this is the question we all want to know. I can't answer that. Do you still have no regrets about hiring Melissa Nathan? As I said, I really try not to have regrets. So is that a no? Objection. I don't know. I don't know. And I don't mean to laugh at your questions. Oh, he's laughing? Wow. I just feel like he has zero compassion. Zero. Okay, the Wi-Fi's cut out. Back on. We're moving on to Exhibit 12, which is a text thread between Jennifer Abel and Matthew Mitchell, who worked at Jones Works. Have you ever seen this before? I have not seen this entire text thread. I do believe that one of those was made public at one point. I don't know where it was. I don't know if it was in an article or maybe it was in the lawsuit or something. Have you ever talked to Jennifer Abel about why she said this about you? Yes, I did. Actually, I don't have a problem with her calling me the C word. And what did you say? What did you say? Well, she actually called me one morning. I think I did read this bit before, but some of these parts are worth reading again. Well, she actually called me one morning. I was sleeping and she was in tears. And I said, "Oh my God, you're in tears? You can't possibly be working for me doing my PR." And she just said, "Justin, I'm so sorry." I said, "For what?" And then she said, "Some texts have been made public where I'm talking shit about you, and I'm just so sorry. I don't believe the things that I said. I was just pissed because you didn't want to do something, and I'm sorry." And I said, I understand. I'm not going to forgive her. I'm not going to hold it against her. I'm sure that if everybody's phone was scanned, and I'm sure there's a lot of people that talk shit about a lot of people. So as a rule, I do my best to not do that. And yet I'm sure lots of people have said these things about me. It's no big deal. That's why I had to hire a crisis PR and a digital agent for 45 grand a month. If you flip to the page marked 41608, the text message at 2:02 p.m. in the middle of this page, she writes, "He may fire us because even if we put together an amazing campaign, it's not going to change the fact that he's so unlikable and unrealistic as a leading man. There's no chemistry with him and Blake. You and I both know that she will be resistant to promote this movie and press will be reluctant to do anything with Justin without Blake being part of it. So there. Those are my thoughts." Do you see that? I do. Have you ever seen this part of the text message before? I don't think so. Well, I wonder where he got that idea from. That if Blake Lively refused to do press for the movie, the movie would in fact bomb because no, he wasn't going to be able to carry it. You left Jonesworks to go with Jennifer Abel as a publicist after she was fired from Jonesworks, right? Objection. I'm not sure I agree with the framing of your question. I don't know why this is getting a bit too big. Which part do you not agree with? Can you ask me again? You left Jonesworks to go with Jennifer Abel as a publicist after Jennifer Abel was fired from Jonesworks, right? Objection. I don't know the sequence. I know that Jennifer had put in her notice, so I'm confused by the way the question is asked. Let me ask it a different way. You left Jonesworks to go with Jennifer Abel as a publicist after she left Jonesworks, right? Yeah. Yes. Why? Because she was my publicist for years before and I trusted her. You still trust her? Objection. I do. Has anyone seen a movie called Dumb and Dumber? My daughter used to be obsessed with it. Oh, I can't see the comments anymore. Oh yeah, I can. He's such a covert narcissist. I know, I mean, no. Oh, whoops, I'm looking at the wrong. Yeah, sorry guys, the comments have disappeared. Oh, no, hold on. We're back. They're back. He's such a covert narcissist. Of course, he is mocking the attorney by laughing at them, as his behavior is the impetus to this whole thing with what appears like every female he encountered while, yeah, on multiple sets. I feel like that's a fair comment. Ghost Cat 007. Let me go back. Okay. Okay, have you ever seen any documents or text messages, in this case or otherwise, where Stephanie Jones is talking shit about you the way Jen Abel was? I haven't seen any documents about Stephanie Jones in general, to my knowledge. You have, because you just saw the one where she sent you a text about Camilla Sterling being dead in a hotel room that was covered up. Okay, are we done with this one? Yes. Convenient memory loss. Justin has a lot of. Are you aware that Wayfarer onboarded Tag as its crisis publicist? Katie Case and Melissa Nathan were joking about whether your faith was a cult. Objection. I was not aware. What do you think about that? Objection. Well, I think anytime somebody makes a religious joke, I think that's not okay. It seems to have happened a lot in this case, including from your own publicist. It seems. Objection. If you want to show it to me, I'd be happy to see it. I haven't heard anything. This is the first I'm hearing about it. Sure. I will show you a document that's marked as Exhibit 13. It's a text thread between Katie Case and Melissa Nathan from August 4th, 2024. Okay. Have you seen this before? I have not. Were you aware that Katie Case and Melissa Nathan were texting things like this about you while they were on a call with you. I was not. What do you think about that? Objection. I think they have every right to say whatever they want. Again, if you think they have every right, if people have a right to say whatever they want, why did you care so much about your reputation? Did Jennifer Abel ever warn you or Jamie Heath or Tara Hanks against hiring Melissa Nathan before you brought her on as crisis communications? Not to my knowledge. Tab 85, please. Are we done with this one? Yes. Thank you. I'm going to show you what's been marked as Exhibit 14. It's a text thread between Jen Abel, Jamie Heath, Stephanie Jones, and Tara Hanks, dated 26th July. Marked Jones Works 13939. Just read through this for a moment if you like. If you look in the middle of the page, marked 13940. This is really bad. This is really bad. I don't know how these people they have to like talk to each other. They must be like, hi, you all right? Yeah, you. That's all. Thanks all. As per our conversation, I also had a negative experience where I confronted, this is Jennifer Abel speaking. As per our conversation, I also had a negative experience where I confronted her with lies and shady behavior and the attempts to poach, and I had to get the client involved to straighten out the situation. Do you see that? There was a with. I confronted her. You added a with. But just for the record. Okay, Justin. Okay, I will rely on what the document says if I misread it. Do you know whether or not this conversation that she refers to or this text thread has to do with Jennifer Abel's prior experience with Melissa Nathan? Objection. I'm not on this thread, so I don't know. Did Jamie Heath or Tara Hanks ever relay the substance of that conversation or this text thread to you? I don't believe so. I'm going to hand you a document marked Exhibit 15 for the record. This is a text thread between Jen Abel and Matthew Mitchell, dated 5th of April 2024. Do you see this? I do. All right, if you go to the text starting at 2:02 p.m., you will see Matthew Mitchell says, MN kind of talks out of both sides of her mouth. And then Jennifer Abel responds, you think? She's a piece of ish. I honestly used to like her, and now I see her for how she really is. And then Matthew Mitchell writes, she's manipulating things, but he's also covering. And listen to this bit, guys. And keeping her on because of the debt owed to somebody. It's gross, TBH. You see, last time when I said about David Bono and Scooter Braun investing $25 million into her business was a payback. I'm just saying. That is how she built her business, on covering up a woman's death. Do you see that? Uh-huh. Did Jen Abel ever relay to you that she thought, at least at some point, that Melissa Nathan is a piece of ish? Objection. I'm sorry. I'm also done with the document. Sure. Okay, would you mind re-asking your question? I will ask it this way. Did Jennifer Abel ever relay to you any negative sentiment she ever had about Melissa Nathan before she recommended that you bring her on as crisis communications? Objection. No. Okay. Are you aware that after Melissa Nathan was hired as your crisis publicist, Melissa and Jen Abel were talking about Jen taking you and Wayfarer and all of Jonesworks clients with her when she left Jonesworks? I was not. Okay. Do you know whether or not Jennifer Abel recommended that you hire Melissa Nathan so that she could position Melissa Nathan to transition with you and Wayfarer and Jen? I'm sorry. Yeah, that was a bit of a long sentence for him. Objection. Okay, I will start it again. I feel like I'm watching an episode of a TV show. Like, following the storylines. Yeah, this is actually your life, Justin. I hate to break it to you, but it is like a TV show. It's like YouTube show these days because I'm on here every night reading this stuff, which sounds like a TV show, but it is actually real life. This is actually how you guys live. It's kind of crazy. Sure. Can you break that down simply for me? Can you break that down simply for me? I'm not very smart. Yeah. And are you aware of whether or not Jen Abel and Melissa Nathan ever had a plan amongst each other to steal you and Wayfarer as clients from Stephanie Jones? I am not aware of any such plan. I can't think why they would want to do that. Doesn't make any sense to me because I don't need to know whether my business makes a profit or not. Okay. Are you aware of whether that is the reason that Jen Abel recommended that you hire Melissa Nathan? Objection. I am not aware. Okay. I'm going to hand you what's been marked as Exhibit 16. Sorry if I'm in a bit of a super sarky mood tonight. Oh, thanks. Is this the one I'm on? Nope. Okay. It's a text thread between several people at Tag, dated August 2nd, 2024. Marked Nathan, several zeros, 141. May I read through it? Yes. All right. Okay. Now, reading through this, do you recognize this as a text thread where the women at Tag are talking you through a call that they expect to have with you? It appears to be. Okay. This is on August 2nd. Do you know whether or not you had formally retained Tag at this point? I don't believe we had. Okay. Do you know whether this was the first call that you were on with Tag by this point? I was in Sweden for my wife's birthday, I believe, because I'm just such a devoted husband and father. Yes, I believe this sounds like that was around the day that I met them for the first time. Okay, and before this call, you were provided with a scenario planning document from TAG. Do you recall that? This this scenario planning document? Yes, yes. And do you recall talking or texting to Jen Abel after you reviewed the scenario planning document that you were satisfied with it? I vaguely remember. I know there are texts, but what do you remember about those conversations with Jen Abel? I remember reading it and feeling like it wasn't that impressive of a document. I remember you said I wasn't feeling the protection I heard on the call. Why did you think it wasn't that impressive of a document? It just kind of felt like, I think the feeling I had was that they were just trying to, oh my God. The document kind of felt like they were trying to get the gig, maybe. But I just remember not feeling that, just not loving it. Do you recall feeling like it wasn't sufficiently protective of you? I remember feeling like there needed to be more defense. Like, I just remember feeling like I wanted more protection. Yeah. Protection against what? I don't know. Everything. I was just scared. Scared of what? I had never been in a situation like this. What were you scared could happen? Well, I'd just been kicked off my own movie, a film that I was working on for 5 years. People that I had thought were my friends were not following me anymore publicly. And it seemed like things were being done intentionally to cause some sort of public conversation. I had never been involved in a crisis and I was just scared. So I think they could have said they're going to build me an iron dome, and I still probably would have felt like there wasn't enough protection. Were you scared of things that Blake Lively or Ryan Reynolds might do? I was terrified of Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively in general. I can't take this seriously. I'm so sorry. I'm not that sorry, actually, especially considering they had just threatened us and said they were taking the gloves off if I didn't release a statement. What did you understand taking the gloves off to mean? Again, I didn't know. I know what they were able to. Are you okay? By the way, I remember him saying that he heard of this conversation third hand. He wasn't on the conversation that Ryan Reynolds allegedly had with the people at WME. He said he heard there were multiple calls. That's what he said. What did you understand taking the gloves off to mean? Again, I didn't know. I know what they were able to. Excuse me? Yeah, I know somehow they were able to take my movie from me. So I didn't know what they were capable of. Is that what you believed happened? That they took your movie from you? Yes. Were you scared at this point in time that Blake Lively might make public any of the accusations about your on-set behavior that she had made privately to you and to Sony? Objection. Form. One thing I'm just going to quickly say on the subject of taking the movie, because I know there's been a lot of debate about this, but in a way, it's like, is he speaking metaphorically or literally? Because literally, they couldn't take the movie from him. Like, contracts were signed, uh, the film had been delivered. Jamie Heath didn't even know in his deposition who owned the movie, but I believe that Wayfarer Studios owns the movie. So he's not really being literal with that statement. If he's being metaphorical, it's a whole different ballgame. So yeah, I don't think I've heard anyone say that. I've jumped a page now. Sorry about that. I was just checking the comments, but something's going wrong with the screen, so I can't see it. Okay. You were scared at this point in time that Blake Lively might make public any of the accusations about your on-set behavior that she had made privately to you and to Sony. See, now we're getting to the heart of the matter. That's what he was really scared about. And to be fair, there's nothing to stop them doing that. Only they probably weren't going to do that because they probably got better things to do with their time. And also, they seem to be a lot more experienced at this game than Justin is, because I'm pretty sure Ryan Reynolds has been in all sorts of little different things throughout his career, but he doesn't take the bait because he knows what he's doing. You know what I mean? Or he does a better job. Oh, no, I don't want to do that. Oops.